LCIF was there, and Lions from 19B were there. Lions from many other districts were there. The 19B Lions were there in person with LCIF. LCIF gave you $30,000 in grants to assist with emergency and recovery. So you can see some pictures of some people you know. There's Steve Brooks, and there's Lion Tom. Is Lion Tom in here? Oh, thank heavens, I thought you skipped out on me. Steve and Tom were the chair people of our Lions Alert Committee in 19B. They had some experience with lions and disaster relief, so they headed up that effort. You will see in the center picture, much of that immediate grant was actually used to help 2 of the volunteer fire departments replace equipment that essentially was used up responding to the mudslide disaster. And to the right is a very touching picture when the emergency responders would find a body. They would stop and bow and do homage to the victim who was found. Each of you was there through the foundation helping the people in Oso and Darrington. Here's where we are as of just a few days ago in our campaign. Oh, excuse me. I want to take that back. This slide is about who gave the money by constitutional area and who received it. In my district, and in my district from Kansas, from whence I came, I have to tell you that there's a rumor mill, and maybe it's here too, because you know how rumors go. The rumor is that we give money to LCIF, but somebody else gets it. It goes somewhere else. Well, it does go somewhere else, but people from all over the world give money to LCIF, and it comes here. So in 2018, these are the numbers, and I want you to look first at Constitutional Area 1, that's us. The U.S., Bermuda, and Bahamas is our Constitutional Area 1. Lions from CA1 gave $6.7 million. Lions from CA1 received $6.4 million. So, we're just going to do away with that rumor because it just ain't true. There's another constitutional area I want you to look at right here, just so you know. Constitutional Area 5 is Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, that particular area. Those Lions are extremely generous to LCIF. They gave almost $23 million, and they received in grants just under $6 million. They're traditionally very generous. When you meet Lions from those areas, please remember to give them a special thanks for their generosity to LCIF. So in total, for 2018 fiscal year, we received $41 million, we granted $46 million. Give yourselves a hand. $46 million. Here's where we are so far, and this is through April 25th, so this is pretty current. Our $300 million goal, we have raised just under 100. So essentially we're a third of the way. We're a third of the way there. Now, I have to tell you, as just a little downer on the statistics, we, Constitutional Area 1, and we, each of you together with me in this room, we've only raised about 60 million, I wish. 60% of our goal in the United States, we're about 60%. So are we getting there? Yes. Do I hope, like everything, that we can step it up? Yes. But I do more than hope. I'm planning on every one of you to help me to meet our goals. Another story. And Lion Mark, when you were in 19B just a few weeks ago, and you and I did this presentation, I didn't have this picture, but I spoke about it and I got the wrong country. I said Zimbabwe. Yes, I've made a mistake. It's Tanzania. This is a recent, very recent project that LCIF, through you, has done in Tanzania, in rural areas, small villages, communities. They did not have access to clean water. The story that goes along with this May of 2019 Lion Magazine article, so you can read it online, Lion Magazine, May of 2019. You can read about this story. This young lady right here, I won't say her name right, but I think it's my Mikudu. I'm sure I butchered that. She was walking 3 hours one way to get water. And she can't carry very much for walking 3 hours one way, can she? To get back to her family, to her home, for drinking water and laundry water and gardening water. The Lions of Austria, along with Lions clubs from Tanzania, were able, with the help of LCIF, and another organization, I won't pronounce this right either, say so, Bray, if anybody does this pronunciation better than I, thank you, but a local non-governmental foundation, together partnered to drill 3 wells and to set up 6 water tanks in different communities. She doesn't have to walk 3 hours one way to get water anymore. It's a lot easier. That's because of you. You did that. Now, we've probably already covered this, but I'm going to review it one more time. How can you help? Many of you, I can say, how do you help? And you already do help. You can help by donating and seeing how right after this meeting. You can help by advocating, going back to your communities and your clubs and telling them about what we are doing through LCIF. I can't imagine that if you go back and share your passion for what we do with your neighbors, with people in your community, with your Lions clubs, that people wouldn't want to help. And you already do this. We heard stories from our zone chairs this morning about how you already volunteer. You have received grants here in this district. We've received many of them in our multiple district. Just recently, as a matter of fact, in District H. Anybody here from H? Is that where John is from? John Morlock, is he H? Okay, so they just recently received a $57,000 grant to help them renovate their Lions service warehouse. That's all of us Lions giving back to us Lions.
So District G has received money too. Voiceford and the Mud. District G has received a good amount of money. There was Voiceford Mud. I think you were governor then, Mark. You got the initial $10,000 in about, what, 48 hours? 20 minutes. You got 20 minutes. And I know a number of our clubs went up and helped dig under the houses up there. I remember taking my grandson up there and digging under the house and putting on the white outfit, and he's asking why, and I'm explaining what's going on. There might be some germs in here somewhere. Just down the street prior to that, in Kalama, there was flood money that came in twice in Kalama. Mark, you remember another one? You're here. Yeah, you can vouch for that.
Hal is correct. We had that big rainstorm in, I think it was about January of 2008 when I was governor, and I was asked to submit for a grant. And it was such a heartwarming thing because you fill out the application, send it in, get a call from Lions Clubs International, and we had it in 20 minutes, and they just had the bank information, wired it in, and coordinated with the Lions. It wasn't just Boisford, Adna, Chehalis, Centralia, out toward Aberdeen, quite a bit of Ocean Shores got money from that. So.
I got to tell you, if you've ever volunteered on one of these projects, it takes you to a different level of your Lionism. Because when I went up there and saw those houses that were no longer livable, and I knew we were going to help them become livable again, you know, talk about helping the homeless in the immediacy of a crisis. It's amazing.
Hal reminded me of that, talking about the houses. When I got to go up there before a lot of the public was allowed in there, our zone chairman at the time, Bill Hunter, was from up that way, and he took me by the house that he was rescued from. They pulled a boat up onto the roof of the porch over the front porch and parked it there and got him out of his second floor bedroom window because that's how high the water was at his house in the Boisfort area.
Or the Nell.
And Nell. And when you're going through less than a week later and you see a cow in a tree it had died and it was still stuck in the limbs of the tree 15 feet up, that's pretty amazing, buddy. It's very heartwarming to know what we were able to do. A lot of our money went to cleaning supplies in there, replenishing some food banks because they were just devastated by all that. Your money really does come back.
Thank you. So some of you were there in person, and every one of you was there in spirit through LCIF. That's the work that you do. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Hal. Well, somebody going to applaud. Lion Tom, did you hand your hat?
I'm sharing.
I'm going to talk about you already. I have a picture. Okay. Here is also a recent grant that was made. LCIF made a $100,000 grant to help build a new and clean and safe home for 50 South Korean men with intellectual disabilities and severe handicaps. They now have a better place to live, a better place in which to receive the help that they need to live a good life. You did that. You did that through LCIF. I know you don't love these charts, I'm sorry. I know Hal's going. So traditionally our grants have been made in those first three categories, and guess what? I'm not going to cover those. But I want to tell you about two new grant types that are now available. The first one is Leo grants. I am excited about this. So for Leo clubs who apply with a worthy project that they come up with, they can receive $2,500 grants from LCIF to help them complete their projects. For Leo districts, they can receive up to $5,000 for Leo supervised grants. And there's a new one called District and Club Community Impact Grants. I'm going to go through that in some more detail. I'm not going to read that. Aren't you happy? So here's what happens with a District and Club Community Impact Grant. Let's first talk about your Lions Club. So this young lady right here, what club are you? North Clark County. All right. And I love her accent. If your club gives, and this is your club, meaning each of you personally in the club, your club makes a treasury gift. If your club is responsible for $5,000 in LCIF contributions, and it has to be to the unrestricted fund, not disaster relief, so essentially to the Empowering Service Campaign, $5,000 in any one of the 3 fiscal years, then your club gets credit, if you will, for 15% of your contributions goes into what I call your grant savings account. You are eligible, your club then, to receive that grant money back to help your club complete a district or a project that your club does in your community. So $5,000 or more in any one fiscal year. If a district is responsible for $10,000 in grants in any one fiscal year, the district receives 15% of that money back. Now, this is big. Right here, I want to tell you how you're thinking, well, my district probably isn't going to give $10,000. But guess what? So her club gave $5,000 and 5 other clubs gave $5,000. But all the rest of that money that all of you and your clubs give throughout the year that doesn't qualify for, that isn't up to $5,000, that all gets aggregated and the district earns 15% credit for that. So look at what we're doing this time in this campaign, and it's a wonderful thing is that our foundation is really emphasizing to each of you that what we put in comes back. And we're giving you an easy way to say, oh yeah, I can use that to buy vision screening equipment. Oh yeah, I can use that to help with a new commercial grade refrigerator at the food bank. So think about that, and you will go home and talk to your club about that, won't you? See, I knew that. I could tell by watching her. Okay, now I put her on the spot. There's what I just said. Now, you guys are thinking, okay, it's a lot of work. I know this is a mortal sin of PowerPoint, but I want to explain. There's a lot of work to apply for a grant. Not so for the district and community club grants, because there's a little 4-page application. One of them's the cover, one of them's the qualification, one of them's the application, what you have to do to apply. Look at that 4th page. I have to tell them how much money I need, how much money I already have, and how much I'm asking for back with my grant savings account. It doesn't have to wait till 4 times a year for the LCIF trustees to act. There is a process in LCIF to review your grant and get you word back on your grant application within a very reasonable time. So think about that. Line how?
I know it. I think we need to clarify here. Most of us who have been governors know that your district can only have one outstanding big grant at one time. This does not apply. I think that if you understand that doesn't apply, that opens a lot of possibilities.
It does. And also, brand new, we have diabetes grants available, and your district can actually have 2 diabetes grants out at the same time, available at the same time. So the possibilities are limitless. Forget that. All right. Lyon Sharon, district governor in 19C, she was holding up her hand a minute ago, and she's going, pictures, pictures. I know her sign language. Here's what just happened in 19C. Tom and I are from Kansas, and we lived in Tornado Alley, and those of us from that part of the country understand tornadoes happen all the time, and that's just the way it is. Tornadoes don't usually happen in Washington State, and they certainly don't usually happen in Port Orchard, but one did on December 22nd of last year. A tornado did quite a bit of damage in Port Orchard. You see a picture of the 2 pictures on the left and the right, pictures of the damage and people helping with cleanup. You also see that LCIF was there through Lyon Sharon. Lyon Sharon's help and her request. $10,000 was made available to the District C to respond, to help Lions respond to that disaster. You see one way that the Lions in Port Orchard and from some other clubs helped to respond. One of the clubs was at Port Orchard, has a food trailer. So easy to do. They parked their food trailer in the area that needed help, and they served food to all the victims and the volunteers who were there responding. I do know, just for clarification, that District C did not use all of that $10,000. So what happens if you don't use all the money you're given? You send it back so that somebody else can use it. So very recently, your own response to a tornado in this district. Some of these things we've already talked about. They deserve reminding. Remember that we belong to a global organization. Each of us has our own little community. I think of Falls City, Washington as my community, or Carnation, Washington. You all think of your own community. I want to ask you, though, to think of a bigger community, and that's this planet. So when we talk about giving to LCIF, we're not just giving to Falls City, Washington, or saying, why doesn't money come back to me? It's coming back to me because I'm a member of a global community. And quite frankly, I love when we're helping kids in Africa with measles vaccination. I don't care that they're not in Falls City, Washington. I care that we're helping make this planet better. Lions rely on Lions. We're empowering each other. Our contributions to LCIF goes right along with those volunteer hours where we're out there serving, responding to a disaster, or renovating our Lions service warehouse in District H. We're there helping other Lions. Your foundation funds projects, all of our communities, and the global community. The money you give back, or the money you give to LCIF, is coming back. And especially think about that district and community impact grant money. You can manage your club, which quite frankly is achievable in a lot of our clubs, or some by us individually. $5,000 a year, 15%. I know I'm getting back to help with projects in my community. So I'm helping, you're helping our global community. You're also essentially accruing savings that's going to come right back to your community. I know 15% is coming back if my club can give $5,000. Very briefly, because I think I've hit you pretty hard on what I'm asking you to do. Engaging Lions as donors. Yes, when we serve, we impact locally, we impact globally. When we give to LCIF, we make more service possible for more Lions. LCIF helps Lions clubs and Lions districts. We expand our impact. And we have to remind ourselves sometimes that service is not just volunteering when we're out there boots on the ground, serving the pancakes that make the money that help us do our community service, or helping sort food at the food pantry. Service also is donating to LCIF. Here's another story. Very recent grant from LCIF to the Nebraska Lions, District 38-0. They, with LCIF's help of a $75,000 grant, built a sensory courtyard for children with special needs. I see people smiling. That's a good thing. That's a good thing, Margaret. $75,000 of our money through LCIF made a sensory courtyard possible for kids in Nebraska. All right, how can your club help? Who here in this room has already been designated as your club LCIF coordinator? Yay. All right. I'm going for more hands on this. So if your club doesn't have an LCIF coordinator, please designate one and talk to Lion Howe. He has a lot of information and he can help you. Build awareness. Talk about what you're doing in your club, what you're doing globally to your neighbors, to the businesses in your community. Invite members to make a gift. So I'm asking every one of you to go back to your clubs and say, can we make a club gift? And can some of us make individual gifts? And remember what Lion Howe's going to teach you when we're done here is how easy it is to do your online shopping. Engage our community, we talked about that, and then celebrate. Celebrate. There are a variety of recognitions available to your clubs. I'm going to go briefly through those. But remember, in your club, when you achieve a milestone, our zone chairs talked about this and talked about how proud they were of your service. Celebrate. Celebrate those achievements. If it's everybody standing up and yelling and screaming for a little while, good. If it's a special little bronze lion recognition to the LCIF club coordinator, do it. Keep that positivity going in your club. Model clubs. Many of you remember model clubs in Site First and Site First 2. We also have a model club process available in this campaign. What it means is that if each member or club can achieve in total contributions for 3 years a $750 per member average, so each member again responsible for $750 instead of that $100 I talked about. So to achieve a model club status, which is really setting the example and a leadership example for a club, if you can achieve a $750 per member average for that 3 years, you become a model club. Now, you're saying, that's a lot of money for each of us to be responsible for. Yes, it is. But here's how your club can do it. You can achieve it gifts from members, fundraising events, gifts and pledges from businesses, a gift from your club treasury. You can combine all of those things. And I think if you were to go back to a club and sit down and with your Big Chief tablet and a pencil and set that goal and figure out how you could do it, many of you will be able to achieve model club status. I'm not asking you to commit here. What I'm asking you to do is to go back and talk about it in your clubs. And Lion Hal actually has model club brochures that are available that can really explain that process easily. Okay, here's another good story. This is about Austrian Lions again. The Austrian Lions have been very, very active lately. LCIF, that's you, gave about $33,000 grant for a type 1 diabetes camp in Austria. What that means is, with LCIF's help and the Lions of Austria's financial help and their ongoing individual and club help, they were able to sponsor the camp where kids learn more about diabetes care, but also that every one of those kids at those camps are with other kids like them. So every kid at camp has a pump or has to take shots every day. You know, everybody's like me. That's a good thing. Very, very briefly, we have recognitions that the $50, $100, and $200 levels for the Lion's Share program. Hal, you were asking, or making a comment about this earlier. There are club banner patches, recognitions available for achieving certain levels of giving. There are also gifts for making a pledge. Hal has pledge cards. And for giving monthly or recurring. Say you want to give $30 a quarter, it comes out of your checking account. Easy to do. And there are recognitions available. I want to go back to the message from very early on. $2 a week, except now to make it up, really about $3 a week. $3 a week, $100 a year, $300 gift that each of us takes responsibility for, not necessarily individual club, community. $100 a year for 3 years meets our goal for every lion on the planet to have that $300 million in resources available to serve 200 million people. Here's where you can, so you guys looked at club coordinators, and I promise not to read these, but look down here. Over 48,000, because we got over 48,000 clubs now on this planet. Ideally, we'd have 48,000 LCIF club coordinators, one in each club out there, spreading the word, talking about the campaign, making sure everybody's aware of what we can do to make our foundation, to make our foundation viable to serve 200 million people. And see the question out to the right, how can we not succeed? How can we not succeed if 48,000 clubs are helping? So you don't have to, George, you don't have to do the whole 300 million yourself. We're asking for every club on this planet to do their part. George was ready to write me a check this morning, but I said no, because then nobody else would have anything to do.
I'll take your check.
Club coordinators, we've already talked about this, what club coordinators can do. Here's next steps. So what I'm asking every one of you to consider. To serve as an LCIF ambassador in your community. To be a cheerleader. To help celebrate when it's time. To be the storyteller, to talk about the Austrian Lions and the Nebraska Lions and the Washington Lions and the work that we do through LCIF. I'm asking every one of you to support your club coordinator. Yes, that could be financial support, but more with moral support in supporting our goal. And the LCIF coordinator has taken a leadership position, so help him or her achieve the goals. And make your own donation or pledge. And you see this young man right over here who has his computer.
Let everybody pull out their smartphone that has one. I want to tell you how easy this really is. And I know some of you. Put LCIF.org in your search and look at what shows up. So you don't even have to go through me. And there's 2 buttons. Since you've already joined Lions, you don't have to do that one. So you go to donate. Make a donation. What cause do you want it to go for? It asks you. Give to Empowering Service Fund. Come on. How much would you like to donate? there's choices. That is how easy this is. How many are willing to do that?
Good job.
All right.
And you didn't have fun going up to.
So here's another opportunity right here. For the first person to bring $100 up here to me or to Hal in cash, or raise your credit card and he'll take your contribution, you will receive this fabulous flying monkey. I know. Listen, just listen. Who could not want a flying monkey? Huh?
Let's see it fly.
Oh my gosh. So he actually does like a slingshot with his paws, but I can never make it work. Can you make it work? Do you know about slingshots? Who knows about slingshots? So really you're supposed to take his little arms and make him fly, but I always mess it up. Okay. So who made a contribution? Who made a $100 contribution just now on their phones? Who's going to bring me a? Oh, look back there. She wants a flying monkey. Come up here, young lady, and tell us your name. Oh, even better. She can't. Okay, here she is. Tell me your name. Sherry, Lion Sherry. And what club are you? Oh, Salmon Creek. Okay, and this young lady is going to award your flying monkey after she makes it fly. Okay, not me. All right. Here you go. All right. Cool. And one more opportunity for anybody who brings me $100 at lunchtime today. Oh, you get a flying frog. But you have to give it at lunch. All right. At lunchtime, Dolly. There are a multitude of resources, marketing materials, etc. available to you. Lion Hal has those. Lion Mark, District Governor has those. All you have to do is talk to those guys. Or all of these brochures are available electronically from lcif.org. You can talk to Lion Hal if you need more information. You can talk to Lion Mark if you need more information. You can talk to me. I love it when you guys talk to me about LCIF, but it's easier for you in this district to talk to those guys. Remember 3-100s? We've been around for 100 years doing a whole lot of service. We're asking for 100% participation from every lion on this planet. We're asking you to be responsible for $100 a year to serve 200 million people every year. We can do better than 6%, guys. We can do better than that. I'm asking you to help me. Thank you very much. And see Lion Hal.
Thank you, Ann. I want to just tell a little quick story. When I was starting out a new lion, I had a guest speaker come, and I can't remember if it was at a zone meeting or it was actually a club meeting, but past District Governor Mark Kelch came, and it was at the start of the measles initiative. And you handed the measles initiative pins, and he passed the pins around, and it's still on my vest, and I wear it with pride because I felt like I was making a difference through LCIF. I can't go to the other side of the world and give a measles shot for $1. There's actually 2 shots for $1 with the Gates Foundation multiplier, but I could through LCIF. And it was a real eye-opener to realize that we're part of this bigger network. And again, to tag on to many of the things that we do in Lions, we have CARE, we have LERP, we have Leader Dog, we have Northwest Sight and Hearing Foundation. We have so many different ways to put our Lions Love into dollars through fundraisers or local or personal contributions to make a difference in the lives of other people. And I just, you have an opportunity here to hear this and to take this back. And you have resources. Lion Hal is our district coordinator, and if I can stretch out here, if you, as a zone, you want him to come and talk, if you want to have him come and talk at a club, they could do that. We are going to have a lot of resources to help you to help your club see the opportunity to make a difference and make our world better and act locally. Did I say that locally?
That's right.
Locally. Yeah, I love that term, Ann. Locally. Anyway, let's give another round of applause for Ann. And Ann is actually, has just received the highest certification for instructors of Lions through the Lions Club Certified Instructor Program. So congratulations to her for that. No.
And Lion Mark has also just done that.
We were in a class together, 19 in Toronto, and got our certification. Anyway, any questions for Ann, for LCIF? Okay, Sherry, I'll come back. I'll come around so everyone can hear. We've got a few minutes here.
I was just wondering if you'd rather have, like, would you rather people donate like in one big thing for all 3 years, or would you rather have each year? Does it matter? As long as you get your money, does it matter when you get it, I guess is what I'm asking.
One big thing every year. Is that the comment? Was that a choice? One big donation every year? Oh, okay.
It really is your choice, but here's what I want to emphasize, especially as your club is setting a goal. Remember, at the club level, if you can aggregate $5,000 contribution in one fiscal year, so that goes from July 1 to June 30th, then that makes you immediately eligible for your 15% club grant credit. So from that perspective of knowing immediately that you're going to get money back, that would be a good option. The 5,000? No. Your personal contribution, as long as it's before June of 2021, it will meet our campaign guidelines. And Lion Emma, what was your name again, honey? Irma just brought up a point I forgot to cover, is that every dollar you give to this campaign during these 3 years counts towards Melvin Jones Fellowship credit. And I forgot one other thing too. Oh my gosh. So during this campaign, the money that all of us gave during the 17-18 years counts toward our $300 million credit. So you sort of already had a head start, and boy, I totally spaced on that one. So
I'll teach you a poem. It's about money. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
More is better than less.
More is better than less.
Sooner is better than later.
Sooner is better than later.
More sooner is best.
More sooner is best. And you don't even have to be from Oklahoma to talk about Sooners. All right. Any other questions, remarks, sharing? Kathy?
If you were giving individually the $300, but you want it to apply to Melvin Jones, is there a form you use for that, or you just say on the bottom of your check that's what it's for, or what?
You can put it on your check. What you need to put is empowering service. Or just Campaign 100. Campaign 100. Yes. Yes. Any money that you or your club gives to this campaign counts towards Melvin Jones credit. Every dollar. Okay?
If I can add something to that on Kathy's question, when you make an individual donation, LCIF counts that credit under your name. But if you wanted to transfer it to the club, then there's a simple form you have to send in, and you transfer the credits. But all donations to LCIF, including Campaign 100, counts toward Melvin Jones credits. And so if you wanted to go, like some clubs, they all run everything through their clubs. And so if you want to do that, you as an individual Lion, you make a donation, then you have to transfer that credit over to the club. That's a simple form.
Yeah. Every dollar that you give between now and June of 2021 counts towards our Campaign 100. You don't have to say it's for the campaign, you just give. So easy, so easy. All right.
Okay, any other questions? We're just about out of time.
Meter is waiting.
It's super easy on the online recurring, and it just pops up. I have a small amount in there. I just want to see how it worked. And it was super easy. It pops up on my credit card, and I pay the bill. And so it's really easy to do. Anyway, so we're sitting at just about a little under 20,000 as a district, and we'd like to. Last year we were at 30,000 for the district, and so as your clubs finish out their fiscal year, if you haven't made your donations, to LCIF, to CARE, to Leader Dog, to LURC, please do that and realize you're putting your Lions Love into those donations. Lions Love, yes. And I think that we talked about that on my visits. The indirect service is, if you can put your Lions Love into that, it will transform your fundraising project, because you'll realize what it is you're doing and where those dollars go. And when you talk about it as club members, but also if you talk about it in your community, your donations will go up. It happens time and time again. Anyway, one more round of applause for Ann, and we'll wrap up. Let's see, it is 11:30, and we'll have opening session or lunch session starting at 12. All right, thank you. Make sure that you get your bids on the silent auctions, because I think they're going to close it pretty quick.